Whether you're a beginner or experienced gardener, understanding the basics of planting and pruning fruit trees is very crucial. It's crucial for their success, and it's for your success also. Happy gardening, everyone. It's a cool weather day here into Zone 8 on the southeast coast of North Carolina, as we are into winter heading into spring. Today, I'm going to share with you for production of fruit trees and managing their growth. Today, I have a fruit tree here, and I'm going to show you some techniques that's going to help you into your planting and pruning season. Planting and pruning fruit trees is essential practices for ensuring healthy and productive trees. Properly planting and pruning fruit trees can help them thrive and produce so abundantly. It's just totally amazing. But planting properly and pruning fruit trees can help them thrive and produce high quality fruit for many years to come. Whether you are a beginner or experienced gardening, these techniques can help you onto your homestead. Understanding the basics of planting and pruning fruit trees is crucial for success. Here you see I've got a fruit tree here, I've got one over there, and I've got 36 peaches off of one tree. So learning how to do trees the right way will produce a sufficient harvest onto your homestead. When it comes to planting fruit trees, it's important to select a suitable location. A location that's well-drained soil and ample sunlight, so choose a spot that provides at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily and has good air circulation before planting your tree. Before planting, make sure to prepare the soil by digging a wide and deep hole, loosening the soil and adding organic matter such as compost. This will provide the tree with a healthy and fertile environment to establish its roots. Once you have chosen the right location, prepared the soil, it's time to plant the tree. Carefully remove the tree from its container, whether it's into a bag or whatever the container is, and make sure that the roots are not bound to the trunk. Be sure to gently loosen the roots if they are tightly bound. Place the tree into the hole. Make sure the graft union is positioned above the ground level. This is the ground. You're going to make sure the graft is above the ground level. You're going to backfill the hole with the soil. You're going to firmly press around it at the base of the tree. Then you're going to water the newly planted tree. You're going to water the newly planted tree thoroughly, and then you're going to mulch the area to retain the moisture and suppress weeds. So we're going to give it a good dose of water here. I like to dig a little bit deeper than the ground level so it will hold the water and not just run everywhere. But letting the water get down to the roots. Before I planted this tree, I kept the soil into the container nice and moist. So I want to continue with this tree to try to keep this area nice and moist. Tomorrow we're getting rain, so the rain is going to help this tree out tremendously. If you want to watch it, make sure that your newly planted tree doesn't dry out. What I like to do, you see this is a heaping of straw here. Now you don't have to put this much straw, but I like to put a heaping of straw because I have plenty of straw, and because this is going to protect, this is going to kind of mulch down a little bit. Straw doesn't decompose as fast as other material, but it's going to start dropping in size. It's going to start deteriorating, and so when the summer heat comes on, this big old pile of straw right here is going to protect this newly planted tree. Pruning fruit trees is another important aspect of their care, and pruning helps to shape the tree and promote proper growth. So today we're going to be doing some pruning onto this tree. So let's get over here and start the pruning. So by pruning this tree, it's going to encourage fruit production. And it's best to prune these trees into the dormant stage, not during when all the leaves start to come out, but typically in late winter or early spring. So you're first going to start by looking at the tree, and you're going to start by removing any dead, broken, or diseased branches, as well as those that are crossing or growing in the wrong way. So as I look at this tree, I need to really look at this tree and see where these branches are growing. As I'm looking at this tree, and I examine this tree, and if I see the branches are crossing or growing in the wrong direction, then I need to focus on shaping this tree. So as I look at this tree, I see I've got a leader here. I've got branches all on the outside. I've got some little branches starting out that's on the inside, which is not exactly what I want. So I'm going to focus on shaping the tree by thinning out the canopy or allowing better airflow. So this is a newly planted tree. Obviously it's been trimmed not maybe last year, but nevertheless this year this tree is really going to grow. If I want some production of new branches and possibly fruit, then I need to get the pruning. When pruning, it's important to use sharp, clean tools and make sure the cut is into a proper angle to promote healing and to minimize the risk of disease. By following these basic principles of planting and pruning, your trees will be productive. Your trees will be productive and healthy. By following these basic principles of planting and pruning trees, you can help ensure the health and productivity of the trees. So I'm looking at my tree. I got my lower limbs down here, and I want to get those away from the ground. I don't want my fruit hanging to the ground, so I'm going to go ahead and trim these off at the near the bottom. Because one thing is going to be in the way for mowing. I want the tree to grow tall, so I'm just going to do a little trimming here. Because as the season grows, then this is going to put out more little branches, more leaves, more weight, and if it produces fruit, then all these limbs are going to hang down. So I want to go ahead and get these bottom branches down here off the tree to where I basically want it at. I could even go further up. So I will examine the tree and see how I want to shape it. This is my leader here. There once was a leader right here. It's been cut off, so that leaves me one leader. And so since this is the tallest one, and this is going to be in competitive of this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one right here. Now you will go a little below the next bud, and you're going to look at the buds to see which way those buds are angling. So I'm looking at this. I'm going to take this one out because every little bud here is going to produce a limb. Now I don't want to cut it right here because that's going to produce a branch, possibly a branch coming out this way, more than likely. And so I don't want my branches really coming in here because I want to make sure I got good air circulation. And so I'm looking over here and I see this over here. I could even go up to here. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I see a bud there. I'm looking on the other side. I see a bud there. And I think what I'm going to do is just cut it. That bud is going that way. I'm going to cut it on this side, and I'm going to do it at an angle. And so I've looked inside. I don't see any other limbs I want to cut except over here. And I see this one's going inside. I don't want it. I want good air circulation. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And since I see all these little buds right here, every little bud is going to put out a leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut some off, because one thing, I'm trying to control the growth of my tree. You can't really hurt a tree, because what's taking place is that you're just producing more growth. As I step back and take a look at it, I think I'm going to cut this one off right here. I'm going to cut this one off over here. And I know it's hard to cut your trees, but I'm also thinking how this is going to branch out, how more leaves are going to come on here. I think I'm going to cut that one right there. It's not going to hurt anything. Oh, that's a hard one to cut. And because this is going to put all the growth, I'm looking at this. I think I'll leave that one right there. I think I'll cut this one right here. I don't want to, but I think I will. And then I'll look at the rest of the tree. So this tree is already high. We always look at trees, oh, that's a big tree. But if we want fruit, we're going to have to prune. So got a little one right there. And what I'm going to do, once again, I'm cutting above the bud. And I'm looking to make sure that my bud is not centered on the inside, because I don't want my tree to grow inward, because I want that circulation. But I'm going to look for a bud that's on the outside. I'm going to give it a nip. Try to get a clean cut here. And believe it or not, this is going to help this tree. That was pointing on the inside. I don't want it on the inside, because when this tree leaves out, it's going to have a whole lot of leaves. So it's good to go ahead and get it pruned right now while it's still into its dormant stage. This tree has been nipped. It's already starting to bud out. Before it buds out anymore, I need to go ahead and get some of these trimmed out again. Once again, trimming out the middle, creating good airflow. Get all these out. Trim this bottom one here. I don't want them too low. Pull that leaf off of there. It's starting to grow a branch. I'm looking at, see if there's any deadness here. I'm going to cut it off. Cut above the bud. Cut that little one off. And this is a little tiny tree. So now I'm going to take and examine the tree. This one, even though it's got my big old pine straw here, even though it's, let's see if I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that, even though it's starting to leaf out. I'm going to go ahead and nip that. The little trees are really easy to do. I'm going to cut this one down here. Get all these little ones off. So all that growth. Now, when I look at this tree, I got 2 leaders here. One is bigger than the other. So I need to cut one of these down so that, so as all the hormones go into both of these leaders, I need to cut one down so the hormones will go down to the other branches. And if I wanted to, I could cut the top of these, cut it further down here, and all the hormones will go to the rest of the branches. There's a little leaf branch coming out right there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to make 1 leader here. Nip it. And I'm going to cut this one. Look for the bud. Having a bud on the outside, that kind of looks like it's not doing so healthy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that one off. There. Let's take an examination, see if that's what I want. And that's what I want. That one right there looks a little dead on the end. It might just be dormant. I think it's just dormant, but that's good. Now, a lot of times the pruning looks like you've done a lot of damage. It's not that you've done damage. It's the fact you gave it a good pruning, and then when springtime comes, all these branches will leaf out. Here, this tree over here, it's got a lot going on. It's got a lot of limbs growing on the inside. I need to nip those out. I don't want them growing on the inside. This one right here needs to come out. I've got 2 leaders going on here. So what I want to do is put this one on the inside here. It's already tall, and I want to be able to reach my fruit. Hopefully not climb a ladder. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these out, cut above the bud, make sure the bud is outside, nip it, then that way all those hormones is going to go to the other parts of the plant. That's the inside, cut that out, get all these inside ones I want out. Get plenty of airflow. Some of them are small, you just break off. And I'm going to go up here to my leader. I'm going to cut above the bud. So I'm going to cut it smaller right down here above the bud. All that's going to produce branches. I don't think I'm about to get too big. Probably because I'm short. And it looks like I kind of hacked it up, but I haven't hacked it up. I've done it good. Look at this limb on the inside. Nip it off, nip it off. That little one off. That one's going to be growing. It's going to end up turning inside. I'm going to get it out of the way, get this one out of the way. You step back, you take a look at it and see if that's exactly what you want. There's a lot of little ones down here. You can just break them off with your fingers. Cut that one off because it's going to be hanging low. Cut this one a little bit more. And we got her done. Step back, take a look at it, see if that's what I want. I'll cut this one off right here so it won't be competing with the other branch. I want these to grow out, not in. So you can assure the health and productivity of the trees with proper care and maintenance to have a bountiful harvest to come for the years to come. As long as you do proper maintenance, proper watering, don't step in ant piles like I just did. Watch the ants, and don't let the ants, that's a good point, don't let the ants get around your trees and stay there, because they will kill that tree. They'll suck the life out of it. They'll kill it. I've had it happen before. But as long as you give proper maintenance, water, pruning, you're going to have a productive harvest in the years to come. See you on to the next video. So here's another fruit tree I just planted. Once again, I'm going to get my lower limbs off. This is going to be too low. If you have big limbs, you take a little saw and saw it off. And get these lower ones off. Look for my leader. Where is my leader? My leader's got like 3 or 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of these. Pretty tree. And it's so hard to prune, but I want one of these to be my leader. So what I'm going to do is cut this one out. Looking to make sure that's what I want to do. I'm going to get this limb down here first. I'm going to cut this one. I know a lot of people don't, but I think I'm going to leave that one. Pick one of these as my leader. And they're going so many different directions. Cut this one down here, cut it down above the bulb. And I'm going to pick this one as my leader. So I'm going to cut this one down above the bulb. Above the bud. Bulb, I said bulb, but bud. I'll go ahead and get this one. Even though I don't want to. And that looks good. Take that bud out up there. Now I'll be going through the rest of these fruit trees and making sure they're properly cared for, trimmed for the upcoming spring season. And that is wood ash. I take the ashes out of my wood stove and put it around my trees. And that is the hardwood wire, got straw in there, to help protect the trees.